From the W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications, your home for complete Marshall University news. You're watching MU Report.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Morris, and I'm reporting to you from my apartment in Huntington, West Virginia. I'm getting ready to head to campus, and I'm going to speak to the head of communications for Marshall University about the closing of face-to-face courses, and we're going to try and dive into those issues and find out a little bit more about Marshall's response to the COVID-19 outbreak.
To mitigate the spread of COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, Marshall University has elected to suspend all face-to-face class interaction until April 13th.
We would rather err on the side of caution and maybe be called reactionaries or whatever than to not do anything and then have to deal with the consequences of that, which could include, serious illness and death for people in our community.
The virus causes respiratory illness like the flu with symptoms such as cough, fever, and in more severe cases, pneumonia. You can protect yourself by washing your hands frequently and avoiding touching your face.
West Virginia Governor Jim Justice announced Tuesday that all bars and restaurants are to be closed until further notice. The first confirmed case of coronavirus is in West Virginia. Everyone should be practicing social distancing. Stay home unless you need groceries or medical care. Please stay safe.
I'm Aaron Dickens, and this is how the coronavirus is affecting the housing and residence life of students who live on campus. As the coronavirus spirals out of control, Marshall and many other universities are closing down, and this begs the question, what's going to happen with on-campus students?
We recognize that some of our students may not be able to go home or have other things that are happening, and we will still provide housing for them. The buildings are open, but we're just really emphasizing that our students exercise caution, use good hygiene, and, common sense in the coming couple weeks.
Many on-campus students say they wonder if there will be a refund for their housing. However, due to the housing contracts, there will be no return of their money. However, if the virus keeps spreading at a rapid pace, Marshall will end up having to quarantine their on-campus students into abandoned residence halls such as Holder B. Hall.
The procedure is we will be utilizing some of our vacant spaces on campus that currently do not have any students living in them where they would be quarantined.
With students out and about, the virus can be easily spread. If you're on campus and feeling sick, refrain from going outside and stay as far away from students as possible. Aaron Dickens, MU Report.
Hi, I'm Tiara Brown reporting from Huntington, West Virginia, Marshall University's campus. At this time, students would usually be walking from class to class, but due to the coronavirus pandemic, all face-to-face classes have been canceled a week before spring break. Those students get that break a week early. Some say they're not excited about it at all. Not being able to meet on campus for classes once spring break ends is a big issue for one student who is moving out of her dorm and back home.
It's sad because I don't want to leave, but I did want to go home just because there's not really much to do now, and I don't have online classes. I teach, so I don't have classes at all.
Some students say their biggest issue is simply missing out on spring break.
This was the first one I kind of planned on going on, so with it being canceled, it made me really sad, but if I was a senior, I'd definitely probably feel different.
A student native to France says he cancels his spring break plans, but doesn't have the option to go home.
Being with the family, it's not more dangerous, but you will have it will be more chance to you to get the virus. So being alone in this room, I will be safe.
The CDC advises everyone to stay away from large gatherings so that COVID-19 is less likely to spread.
Hello everyone, Mackenzie Watson here, and I am in South Point at Walmart, and I have made a horrible decision. Today I will be traveling around the tri-state area to get you the behind the scenes of the chaos in these stores. Let's go.
Since the first case of COVID-19 in the U.S. hit the news channels months ago, people have taken the word panic to a whole new extreme, buying anything and everything on the shelves at stores like Walmart and Dollar General.
Sales are quadrupled what they normally are. We're trying to meet the needs of the customer. What comes in on my truck, we put on the sales floor.
Hand sanitizer, hygiene products, non-perishables, and toilet paper are nowhere to be found at not just stores around our area, but all over the country, leaving shoppers who need these supplies stuck with literally nothing.
Customers are in a panic, I feel like, and I understand because, the CDC has warned people, have product on hand, have weeks of supply on hand. So many people, you have two different types of people that just want a little bit to get by, and then people that are being greedy about what they have. So in my facility, I have limited supplies on what people purchase because I had actual fights in the store. So for the protection of my workers and for customers, I limited it.
But other stores have not yet limited product sales per customer like these smaller stores.
With limited items left on shelves, shoppers are forced to scramble during this time of chaos.
Hi, I'm Mike Dotson, and even though Marshall may have postponed face-to-face meeting for classes, that still leaves a lot of students stuck on campus with nowhere to go.
It sucks in a way because I ain't been home in a while, and I really miss my family a whole lot, and it just sucks because I have to go to work every day, and I'm dealing with the potential chance of coming across the coronavirus.
Some students could go home for the break, but they fear being around their loved ones during this time.
Really knowing the coronavirus affects the older generation, that really kind of puts a thing on perspective because with my grandparents being older and they're in their final ages and everything, not being able to be around them and knowing that maybe if this contracts and gets with them, then possibly it could harm them.
The coronavirus isn't just a Huntington area problem, it is a global problem. So that is also leaving students across the world stranded with nowhere to go.
I'm Sarah Rowe, and I'm reporting to you from Huntington, West Virginia. In an attempt to slow down the viral spread of the coronavirus, the Trump administration has recently issued a travel ban that now affects most European countries. Though the current ban does not include U.S. citizens, it does affect international travel in general. Airlines are canceling flights, and international trips have been canceled or advised to be rescheduled.
It's my college graduation trip. It's the trip that kids dream about when, they think about walking across that stage. It's something that I've planned for years. I kind of feel like it's not a right, obviously, but I feel like something's being taken away from me.
The CDC and Secretary of Health and Human Services advises against travel even from state to state, let alone internationally.
Well, it's more than a vacation for some people. It's for some people that are international students, they can't get home to see their families. So that's really upsetting that they're not able to see their families. So it's not like they're trying to go and spend time off. It's just they're trying to get home.
A written proclamation from the president says that this ban will last for 30 days, with a possibility of extension. This means the future of all airline travel internationally is still in limbo. Sarah Rowe, MU Report.
I'm Taylor Huddleston, and this is how the coronavirus is affecting sports at Marshall University and across the entire United States. All sporting events in the NCAA, NBA, MLS, MLB, along with many others, have canceled the remaining seasons effective immediately. Marshall football has suspended its spring practice season due to the coronavirus. The men and women's basketball team's seasons were ended suddenly during the 2020 Conference USA basketball tournament in Frisco, Texas, after both teams won their games in the first round.
I feel very upset that the conference tournament had to be canceled after traveling this far to cover Marshall basketball because it has kind of turned my life upside down because now I have no sports to cover for the rest of the semester, and that's basically what I do with all my time in my life, so now I have nothing to do with my free time.
Senior Marshall athletes that play spring sports such as baseball and softball hope to regain some type of eligibility since the seasons are ending so soon.
I think that seniors should be able to have the option to come back for another year, but I think the problem that you run into with that is, do you give basketball seniors another year of eligibility because they were already done with their regular season, but they didn't have the chance to compete for a conference title or even go to the NCAA tournaments.
Marshall Athletics has suspended all of its spring sports for the 2020 season. The next step will be to determine seniors' potential eligibility due to the coronavirus, ending their seasons abruptly. More details are to come. Taylor Huddleston, MU Report.
Marshall University has shut down the classes due to coronavirus, but Marshall's Rec Center is still open for students, and the director says they're taking extra precautions for cleaning and using a special chemical to kill coronavirus.
But the chemicals we're using are approved by the CDC as chemicals that do kill the coronavirus. We checked that right away when this all kind of hit, and luckily we already had in stock everything we were going to need. We are going through and wiping down all of our balls every time they're handed back to us, and just encouraging hand washing.
Students visiting Rec Center are cleaning the equipments by themselves before using them and are making sure that they don't have any physical contact with any other student.
Stay on top of your hygiene. Don't shake hands with anybody. Try to keep 3 feet between you and anybody else. Wash your hands several times during your workout.
Even after taking all the precautions to avoid the deadly coronavirus, the question remains that if the students should be allowed to visit the Rec Center and use the equipment, or if they should stay at home and quarantine themselves. Fareed, MU Report.